Hey guys, welcome to RT Infrastructure Micro Lessons, where we cover short lessons about network automation in AWS. So today's lesson is going to be about routed ports. Now, in our previous lesson, we did set up a SVI, a switch to virtual interface, which was a virtual interface with an IP address tied to it. And basically, we were able to use that port to allow management from it. Now, this time we're actually creating a routed port, which is pretty much a physical port on a switch. And typically, that switch is going to have layer 3 capabilities on it. And this port is allowed to pretty much act like a router interface where we can move traffic between it using it. Um, we can assign an IP address to this port, and typically we wouldn't do that for a normal switch port. It works at layer 2 and it does not need an IP address, but with a routed port, we can actually do that. And we would typically use this routed port um, just for a point to point connection between another switch or router. And when I mean point to point, I mean just a dedicated link from that switch to the router or switch. And usually that switch is kind of like a core switch or another switch that has layer 3 capabilities. And we could particularly, or even a firewall for that. But, we wouldn't use this for like, say connecting a computer to a switch. We wouldn't create a routed port for that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing we want to do is go into our interface. So we're in our enable mode already. So we'll go into configuration terminal, and then we'll go ahead and pick the interface, the physical interface that we want to have it become a routed port. So I'm just going to pick interface GI1/0/1. And then the first thing you want to do once you get into your interface is you want to do a no switch port. Click enter, and that will pretty much turn it into a routed port because it's no longer a switch port. So once you do that, you're able to assign an IP address to it. 68 dot 1.2, and then we'll have do 55.255.255.0. And once you do that, now that you set it to a route port, you put the IP address, you're ready to connect the other side. Typically, that other side would also have an IP address as well. And once that, you notice that the interface changed to a state of down because it was actually converting over to a routed port. But once you connect the other side, it will come up. And that's pretty much how you change your interface that was a switch port into a routed port. All right, that'll do it for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.